All right, so take two. I'm hoping that the connection stays good. It looks good. We're going to get started. So starting at the top of your mat, go ahead and spread out through your toes. You can put your big toes down and lift up all your little toes, and then put all those little toes down and lift up the big toes and stretch those out and put them down. Start rolling back through the shoulders. Start slowing the breathing down. And as you roll through those shoulders, you can start to think about your intention for your practice today. Start thinking about what brought you to your yoga mat. Start feeling where your body's at. You can spiral in through those thigh bones. Lift up through the heart. Take one more circle around. Arms are hanging long from the shoulders, nice and loose. Kneecaps are lifting upward. Take a big inhale up. And as you exhale, pressing down through the palms. Nice strong exhale. Again, inhale, get a little bit longer through those arms. Exhale, pushing through the palms, sinking down through the shoulder blades. Again, inhaling up. And exhale, press down. Close the ribs to the hips. One more inhale up. And as you exhale, drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. First one of the day. Just relax into that forward fold. You can allow the body to sway if you need to. Just letting the body settle. Let gravity work on the shoulders. You need to shake out your head and neck if they're a little bit feeling tight, and shake those out. Inhaling tall through your spine. Exhaling, letting the torso sink closer to the legs. And on your next inhale, inhale halfway up, stretch your spine. Exhale back down. Inhale all the way up, scooping tall through that breath. Exhale to heart center, match your palms, drawing that midline. Inhale back up. Exhale, dive down, long tall spine, dropping the chin. Relaxing into that forward fold, letting the shoulders and head and neck relax. Expand into the belly with the breath. And if you want, you can hold the elbows. You can hold the backs of the legs. You can put your hands under your feet. If you have a block to put your hands on, you can put your hands on a block to bring the floor up to you. That's the legs unwind. One more breath. Releasing that out. Inhale halfway up. Exhaling back down. Inhale all the way up. Strong through your arms, strong through your legs. Exhaling to heart center and into your mountain. So taking this to the top of your mat, if you're not already there, spreading out through your toes. Lifting up through your kneecaps, spiral in through the thigh bones, just finding a strong, tall mountain posture. Inhaling to lift up. Exhale to dive down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhaling back down, hands to the mat. Right leg takes a giant step, floating back into a tall lunge. And you can take a minute here to find that lunge, just allowing that back foot to wiggle back. Front knee is right over that ankle, and your hands can be on the mat, or if you have blocks, you can put them on blocks or up on your thigh bone. So pick a hand position that lets you keep that very tall, extended spine throughout your lunge, throughout your breath. Starting to move through this with your breath, inhaling your front knee straight, exhaling back into your lunge. Keeping your front big toe firm on the mat. Spine stays tall throughout. Your neck is just a natural extension of your spine. Really active reach through the back foot. Exhaling to sink the hips down, to draw the belly button up and in. And on your last exhale here, bring your back knee all the way down to the mat. Flatten out through the toenails. Firm up through your foot and your back shin. Inhale to lift up. And exhale, finding that low crescent. Send your heart up as you breathe, breathing all the way into the belly, all the way into the hip. And as you exhale, we're feeling that zipped up feeling. We're lifting the heart. We're gliding that weight forward into the front foot. Lifting up through that torso. One more breath. Exhale the hands down to the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Step into your plank. Plank is on your toes or on your knees. Either one. So do whatever is going to work. Spread out those fingers really big. Push yourself actively away from the mat to broaden the upper back. Find that tall mountain posture, Tadasana, in this plank. As you breathe, that wide belt cinches in, wrapping around the torso. Feel all those muscles kicking in, lots of good strength here. On your next exhale, come down in Chaturanga, elbows in tight, all the way to your mat. Flattening through the toenails. Inhale, peel the chest back, baby cobra. Just letting those low back muscles activate right from the shoulder blades to the base of the spine. Keeping the glutes out of it, so we're keeping those toenails down. Heart reaches forward. Bringing it back down, plant the palms. Inhale, press up into cobra, any amount. You can lift up a little or a lot. Sending the ribs forward, pull the shoulder blades back. Breathe low in the belly. Feel the fingers connecting to the mat. And if you want, you could take those eyes up if it's okay on your neck. Inhale your toes under. Exhale, sitting back. First downward dog of our practice together. Just settling back into those heels. Take a minute, see where you're at tonight. Pedaling out those heels. Just letting one and the other melt down. Hands stay really long. Lots of good extension up through the spine. Finding where those heels are at, starting to create some distance down the backs of the legs, letting those heels melt down as the tailbone tips up. If your hamstrings are feeling very tight, you can bend those knees if that makes your downward dog more comfortable. So you want this to be a good recovery posture. Take one more breath here, reaching tall through the sitting bones. Eyes looking forward, let's walk that up right and left. Finding that forward fold, relax the upper body, spread out those toes. Try and see a little bit of the mat in between each one. Inhale all the way up. Lifting tall, strong arms, strong legs. Exhale to heart center, all the way into your mountain. And just take a minute, notice how you are holding your weight from your right to your left foot. While your arms are hanging off the shoulders, let the shoulders melt away from the ears. And on your inhale, lifting up, float the arms overhead. Exhale and dive down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale, halfway. Exhale your hands to the mat, and left leg takes a giant step back, floats into a tall lunge. And just like on the other side, take some time to place your hands, place your feet, so you can wiggle that back foot back. Firm up the pressure in your front foot. Get that big toe, pinky toe, and heel all equal. Sink the shoulders down the back. Feel the top of the head reaching forward and the back foot reaching back. Lots of good breath here. Remember, you can change that hand placement anytime you need to. Keep your spine tall. When you're ready, you can add movement if you feel like there's room for it on this side of the body. Inhale that front knee straight, extending, exhaling back into your lunge. Your big toe on that front foot stays firm on the mat, strong and connected. Lots of good breath here. Spinning that left hip, that backward hip forward as you extend the knee. So we're squaring up to the front of your mat. And on your next exhale, bringing the back knee all the way down to the mat. Flattening through those toenails, firming up the front foot and the back shin. Inhale to lift, finding that low crescent lunge. Lift the spine so tall up out of the tailbone here. And if this bothers your shoulders to have the arms up, you can bring them down to heart center. You can go into mountain. So pick something that's going to work for you in this posture. Breathe low in that belly. Lift up through that heart. You can add an extension up with the eyes if you like. Gliding your weight into the front foot. Take one more breath. On your next exhale, hands come to the mat. Back toes tuck under. Step into your plank. Toes or knees, either one. Spread the fingers out really big. Find a strong plank. Activate those leg muscles. Spin the creases of your elbows forward. Stand tall on those feet. Take one more breath. Exhale and chaturanga. Elbows in tight to the sides. Inhaling up into your cobra, lifting any amount, a little or a lot. Send the heart forward. And again, check the distance between the ears and shoulders, bringing those shoulders down. Spread out through the fingers. Check to see that all of your hands, all parts of your hands have equal pressure. From your pinkies to your thumbs. Lots of good breath. Inhaling the toes under. Exhale, shifting back. Find your downward dog. Second one of our practice today together. Finding where those heels are. Letting the heart melt down between the shoulders. And just taking some time, giving yourself the luxury of a slow breath. Feeling that breath travel all the way down the spine into the low belly, into the hips, into the sides and the ribs. Softening the muscles in the face. Keeping the arms really strong and extended. Take one more breath. Eyes looking forward. Left foot takes a giant step. Find your forward fold. Relaxing through the upper body, strengthening the legs. Deep inhale up. And exhale to your heart center. All the way into your mountain. All right. So hopefully feeling a little bit warmer as we continue here. Come to the top of your mat. Spreading out through those toes. Zipping up tall, finding that strong mountain. Get really wide across those shoulders. So we're just opening across the shoulder blades, opening across the collarbones. Take a deep breath up. Exhale and dive down. Long spine. Dropping the chin. Inhale halfway. Exhale into your plank. You can step or you can hop to get to your plank. Toes or knees. Taking a breath. Exhale through your chaturanga. Scoop with the breastbone, inhaling up into your cobra. And if you'd like to, you can extend to the tops of your feet and extend the elbows in upward dog. Take a breath here. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg way, way up. And exhale, drawing that in toward your chin. Take a breath. And inhale back up. Exhaling to the outside of the right elbow. Taking a breath here. Inhaling up again. And exhaling toward that opposite elbow, drawing that across the body. So strong. Inhaling up. And exhale to bring it forward. Plant your foot. Finding a tall lunge. So our feet are hip distance apart, railroad tracks, as opposed to a tightrope. Firm up through those legs. Inhale to lift. Finding your tall crescent lunge. So you can change your foot placement at any time. You can take a narrower stance, a shorter stance for more control, and a longer stance for more challenge. So figure out what you need. And you can either stay here or you can move to a reverent crescent. So stabilize those legs. Inhale, hinge, placing that offering. Exhale, bringing it back up, lifting that tall. Lots of big breath. Keep pushing back through that back leg. That's your anchor leg. If this bothers your back, you can take the hands to the hips and dive that heart over the knee. And exhale and lift the heart up to the ceiling. So finding where you need to be. Take 2 more breaths. Moving a little or a lot or not at all. Just moving through with that breath. Finding that tall lunge. Take a breath. Exhale down to the mat. Step into your plank. Take a breath here. Move through your chaturanga. Inhaling up into your cobra or your upward dog, and exhale into your downward facing dog. Taking a moment, inhaling that left leg this time, way up, and exhale toward your chin. Hold that for one breath. Inhaling to extend way up. Exhaling to bring it to the outside of your left elbow. And hover in that plank for one breath. Inhale, way up. Exhale across the body with that knee toward the opposite elbow. Take a breath here, be strong through the core. Push through the palms. This time inhaling up. Exhale, drawing it through, finding your stance for a lunge. So feet, again, hip distance apart. And when your feet are stable, inhale to lift. Finding that crescent lunge, nice and tall. Actively push through that back foot, lift through your heart. And remember, your hands can stay up, you can bring them down if that works better here. And you can stay right here, or if you'd like to move, reverent lunge here. Inhaling to place that long in front of you and exhaling to lift that heart back up. Just placing the offering of your practice. Moving with your breath, giving yourself that luxury of a slow inhale and a slow exhale. Keeping both legs really strong throughout the whole thing. Really tall through all of your limbs. 2 more breaths. And last one. Bringing that to the mat. Step into your plank. Toes or knees, taking a breath. Move through your chaturanga. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling into your downward facing dog. Eyes looking forward. You can step or hop into a forward fold. If you're hopping, just landing light, relaxing through the upper body, spread out through your toes. Inhale all the way up. Strong through your arms, strong through your legs. Open into your mountain. Just taking a minute again. Notice how your weight is on your feet. And if you'd like, you can just gently shift your weight front to back on the soles of the feet. Find a spot that's just centered, and then go a little bit forward to the ball mats of the foot. So finding that balanced posture, we're going to keep going from here, opening up that hip flexor a little bit more this time. So rolling back through those shoulders, inhale to lift up. Exhale, diving down, long spine. Inhale halfway. And exhale, take your right foot back into a warrior stance. So we're lining up the front heel with the arch of the back foot. Cartwheel up into your warrior 2. So you can take some time here to turn the hips and shoulders to the long edge of your mat, squaring up. Set the shoulders down the spine. Sink into those legs. Find the strength in your pose. Inhaling tall. Exhale, zipping up. Sinking shoulders down. Arms are reaching long. Lots of strength in that breath. Lots of strength in those legs. And from here, extending as long as you can. Big reach and then pull it back. Do that 2 more times. Keeping the hips really turned open to the side. 1 more time, extending as long as you can. And when you can't go any further, find a side angle. So we're tucking the tailbone under. We're rolling the ribcage open. And you can stay right here, nice and tall. If you have a block, you can put your hand on a block, or you can bring your hand down to the mat. And we're just constantly shining the center of that ribcage open to the ceiling. Option to take that top arm overhead. Strong through that back leg. Inhale, open that back up. Option to wrap the low back, letting the back of the hand rest on that back hip, or maybe it's going to tuck to the top of the thigh bone there. Open through the ribs. Tailbone tucks under. Take 2 more breaths. Strong through that back leg. So tall. Release any bind you might have. Bring it back down to your mat. Step into your plank. Toes or knees. And from here, taking a deep breath, exhale, chaturanga down and through. Inhale, lifting up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg way up. Exhale across your body. And again, way up. And again, across the body. So you can add on to this. As you extend up, you can open to the side with your hip. Across the body, if you want to extend that pinky toe out, you can. You can allow that knee to bend at the top, trying to bring your heel close to the glutes. Find that range of motion. Similarly, you can do this with your left knee on the mat and work in that way. Last time, leaving this up, reaching tall. You can always put your foot down, open the hips to the side, see if you can allow that knee to bend, reaching your knee up to the ceiling, trying to do the splits. You can stay here, or if you'd like to go into wild thing, you can get your weight onto that left hand, keep rotating around so that right foot hits the mat. Let that right arm reach up and overhead. Push strong through your feet, your hips. Open up through the front body. Long extension through the fingertips. One more breath. And then closing it back up right into your three-legged dog. Walking all the way back up, right and left. Find your forward fold. Relax through that upper body. Take a breath here. And let's take a deep breath all the way up. Unfurl your spine, lift that heart up. Exhale to your mountain. Roll back and through. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And if you guys are feeling warm, and if you're sweating a little bit, me too. Good stuff, I'm glad you are, if that's true. Come to the top of your mat. Take a minute to find that tall mountain posture that you're just opening up through those shoulders. Activate through the legs. Feel the strength of that connection between your ribs and your hips. Take a deep inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, diving down, long spine. Drop the chin. Inhale halfway. And exhale, bringing that left foot back this time into your warrior stance, lining up that front heel with the arch or heel of your back foot. And as your legs are ready, cartwheeling up, finding warrior two on the other side. So again, take some time to turn those hips and shoulders to line them up to the long edge of your mat. Lots of good breath here. Set the shoulders strong down the back with your exhale. Feel the power in those legs as they are both strong, not just the front leg, but front and back. Legs are firm, that front knee is pushing nice and wide, opening through that ball and socket joint of the hip. And from here, taking that long extension with your spine, slide the ribs forward, and then bring it back to your neutral spine, straight up and down. And again, gliding forward as long as you can. Last time, gliding forward. When you can't go any further, bring it into that side angle. Tailbone stays tucked under. Open the heart to the side. Lots of good breath here. So feeling that reach through the crown of the head, you're just letting your spine get super tall through the top of the head. We're not collapsing downward, we're reaching forward. If you would like to bring it to a block or to the mat, you can take it right there. Heart still rolls open. Option to extend that top arm overhead. Lots of good breath. That back leg is still very active. Inhaling, open. Exhale, option to take that and wrap the low back. Rolling that shoulder open. And maybe you're just to the low back. Maybe you want to take the fingertips to the crease of the thigh. And open up here in a half bind. Lots of good breathing, lots of good extension. One more breath. Releasing any hold you might have. Taking it all the way down to the mat. Stepping into your plank on your toes or on your knees. Spread out through those fingers. Take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Just find your hands. Find your feet. Take that left leg. Inhale, way up. And exhale across the body toward that right elbow. Remembering that you can do this on the right knee, or you can keep that right foot grounded. So starting to kind of play around with this, finding the edges of your pose. As you extend, you can reach through that pinky toe if you like. As you lift up, open the hips to the side. Exhale through. Let that knee bend if you'd like, dropping the heel toward the hip. Breathing strong. Keeping that spine extended. One more time through your breath. And on this time, extending up, leaving that leg extended if you can, dropping the heel toward the hip, reaching your knee toward the ceiling, trying to do the splits with your knee and your grounded foot. And either staying here, or if you'd like, weight centers on the right hand, we spin that foot to the floor, we lift through the hips, wrapping, opening the whole front side body, reaching through that floating hand, pushing through your feet, sending the hips forward, opening the whole front body. And then just closing that back up into your three-leg dog. Reach and walk it up. Find that forward fold. Relaxing the upper body, releasing any tension from those shoulders and from those wrists. Spread out through your toes. Take a deep breath all the way up. And exhale, bringing it back to your mountain pose. Nice job. All right, nice and warm. Got some really nice hip openers. You guys are doing good. All right, so from here, top of your mat, we're going to be adding on a little bit more with our hip openers, and you're going to have a binding option and a balance option. So get ready. And for your balance, if you like having a chair to hold on to, or if you like having just a wall or a touch point, you can move yourself to there, wherever you need to when you get to that balance part. And do what you gotta do. Spread out through your toes, find your mountain pose, lift up through that spine, just feel that lengthening, trying to create some space between each little vertebrae. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, diving down all the way into your plank. You can step or hop to get there. Take a breath at the top of your plank. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale up into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take that right leg, inhale way up. Exhale, drawing that through, planting your foot in a warrior stance. Cartwheeling up into your warrior two. Take a breath here, settle into those legs. Turn the hips and shoulders, renew that body positioning for your warrior two. So you're really opening up through that hip joint right there. Find your side angle pose on your exhale. So keeping this here, you can either keep it right here, or if you'd like to, you can find that half bind. If you want to try to do a full bind, you can take that bottom arm and flip your palm so it's up under your thigh bone. And if your hands find each other, great. And if not, don't worry about it. Only go as far as you're comfortable going. Shoulders real open. Take a breath or two here in whatever side angle that you're in. And here is where we are going to add that balance. So we are going to take a giant step forward and put our weight onto our back foot. So I'm pushing strong into my left foot here. Now you can keep your bind or let it go at any time. You're going to push, push, push. Whoop. And there my bind goes. Push, push, push. And if you let it go, you're just going to draw that up. Find a spot for your eyes to look at. Lift yourself up tall. Shoulders pull back. And you can extend that arm if it's floating. If you're still binding, go for it. We're keeping that knee right on top of the ankle. We're lifting our spine up tall. Navel pulls in, shoulders set down the back. One more breath here. And then slowly releasing that out. Oh, I can't wait to do the other side. I want to try and balance on the other side and see if I can get it. So again, be kind to yourself with your practice. Only take it as far as it's gonna go. And if you wobble, if you have to put a foot down, that's fine. The next time you have to wobble or put a foot down, you'll do that at a higher level of practice. So that's why we practice and not perfect. Spread out through your toes. Lift up through your kneecaps. We're zipped up tall. Find that strength. Inhale to lift. So strong. Exhale into your plank, step or hop. Take a breath at the top of your plank. And exhale, move through your chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra or your upward dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take that left leg. Inhale, way up. Exhale, drawing it through, planting your foot for a warrior two stance. So we're lining up that front heel and your back arch. Cartwheeling up, find your warrior two. Take a moment to find the strength in your posture on this side of the body. So squaring up to the long edge of your mat. As you turn the hips, if this knee wants to fold in, keep it nice and wide. So figure out where your legs need to be so you can do that. You're gazing down that front arm. And then on your next exhale, coming back into your side angle, wherever you were at before, opening into that side angle. Tailbone still tucks under, lengthening through your spine. Option to take that top arm and wrap your low back. And if you would like to go for a full bind, you can see how it feels to take your bottom arm and wrap underneath the thigh bone. If your hands find each other, great. Rolling the ribs open. Be really mindful of your shoulder here. Keep breathing, keep tucking under with the tailbone. So taking another breath or two, and here's where we're gonna add that step forward. So keeping your bind or just holding your shin, stepping your back leg forward and putting your weight onto that back foot. So I'm putting my weight into my right foot. Find a spot for your eyes and just start to push through that foot, push through your heel, lifting up, finding out where you are. Lots of good breaths. So maybe you make it all the way up, maybe you get most of the way up. Do the best you can. If you need to let go and go into your standing balance. And I don't know if you guys can hear all that noise upstairs. I think my dogs must be having some puppy zoomy time. I can hear it. It sounds like a herd of elephants. You can take that floating arm up. The one thing about yoga, we acknowledge our environment, we hear it. Things might come in through our ears, we just let them go. We acknowledge them, we move on. One more breath. And releasing that out, sweeping out through that standing leg. Nice job. Moving through that range of motion. All right. So moving on, we're going to come back to the top of your mat. Coming up to the top, spread out through your toes. Roll back through your shoulders, just find your posture. Let the distance between your ears and shoulders increase. Take a breath up. Dive down on your exhale all the way into your chaturanga. Step or hop, bending through. Exhale, exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. And from here, inhaling that right leg way up. Finding that three-leg dog. And if you are opening your hips to the side, square them up to the mat. Do your best to keep them square. And you can either hold that right here, lifting through that heel, or you can add some tiptoes here. Inhaling up and exhale, putting that back down. 2 more times. Exhale the belly down to the spine. Keep the arms tall and strong. Last one. Walking your hands back to your standing foot, three-leg stance. And then if you can put your foot down at any time, but if you feel like you have that balance, lifting up to your warrior three. And your standing leg can do whatever it needs to. It can stay soft. Arms can airplane, they can Superman, they can streamline. Inhaling up. And then exhale, diving down on your exhale into your 3-point stance. Hands come to the mat, glide out into your plank. And you can keep that right leg floating. Take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up into your cobra or up dog, both toes down. Exhale into your three-leg dog, right leg extends. And exhale, stepping up into your forward fold. Relaxing through the upper body. Starting at the belly button, draw those muscles in. And use all those core muscles to push the spine up, stacking each vertebrae into place. Legs are active, shoulders rolled open. Top of your mat. Come on up to the top of the mat. Inhaling up. Exhale, diving down into your chaturanga, step or hop all the way into that arm bend. Inhaling up. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Left leg inhales way up and just finds it there. So you can, again, notice where your hips are. If they're opening, close them back up so they're squaring to the mat. And you can keep this right here. Lots of good extension. If you'd like to, you can add the heel raise, lifting up, and then bring it back down, letting your calf move through that range, for that muscle, for that joint. 2 more times. Tall through the arms, tall through the spine. And then keeping that extended, walking your hands back, finding the three-leg stance. You can put your foot down at any time. And then if you feel like you have it, push through that foot, squeeze the shoulder blades back and open. So much strength. So many muscles are working here. Do what you gotta do for your warrior 3. Find arms that work. Reach long through the top of the head, long through that floating foot. You're squeezing back through the shoulders. Bringing that up. Find a spot on the floor for your eyes. And then taking it right back into your forward fold. Put your foot down at any time. We'll glide back out into your three-leg plank. Take a breath. Chaturanga down and through. Inhale, toenails to the mat. Exhale to your downward dog, right into your three-leg dog. Stepping forward. And we're just gonna walk it around. So we have a wide foot stance. Soften the knees, bring the hands to the hips. Breathe up. So from here, turning your feet so that you are in a natural turnout with your feet. You don't want to be like really cranking them wider than is comfortable, but we also don't want to be training the toes forward. So just a natural turnout for your legs. And feel as if you can hike up those pants. I gotta do it. Here we go. Feel as if you are sticking your feet to the mat and then drawing those leg muscles up toward the middle of the body. So we're really active through those legs. Inhaling to lift up. Exhale, sitting into a low goddess squat. So as you sit into those feet, you can change your foot placement. Inhaling up. Exhale, sink back down. You have an invisible wall behind you here. And you want to feel like the back of the head, back of the shoulders, hips, knees, and feet are all touching this invisible wall. So trying to keep that in alignment. Squeeze up through those legs. Exhale, squeezing back down. 2 more times. You can add a little bend or a lot of bend. Keep that breath moving. Scraping that wall behind you with the backs of the hands. Staying really low then. Finding the depth of your pose. Keeping the shoulders right on top of the hips. Inhaling over to one side. Exhale, center. Other side. Big inhale. So to increase the challenge, you can extend those arms. Inhaling. Letting them stay opposite each other. Use your inhale to stretch. Exhale, cinch in that tight belt. Using those core muscles to bring the rib cage right back into alignment over the hips. 1 more time each way, or whatever you need for balance. Your knees are still pressing really wide. Big breath up. Exhale, forward fold. And from here, just walking your hands to your right foot, pivot on the balls of the feet, and then just find a seated posture. And I'm just going to turn around, but if you're not facing me, that's okay. So seated posture, right over left. And you can have your left leg straight, or if you pretzel yourself into that from your wide leg stance, You can have that left leg bent underneath your hip. So from here, finding that tall posture, take a minute to find your breath. Sit evenly on your hips from right to left. Let that breath expand down into the low belly. And as you feel comfortable, you're trying to draw those knees into alignment and stack them one on top of the other. And if they don't make it right on top of each other, that's okay. And if you have a lot of knee flexibility and hip flexibility, the soles of the feet might be lining up on the same latitude. And if you can do that, great, do it. And if not, they are where they are. Be right where you need to be with that pose. Take one more breath. And from here, releasing those hands, inhale up. Exhale over that right shoulder. Take the left hand or the left arm to the outside of that thigh bone. Walk your shoulders around. Take a breath. Inhale yourself taller. And exhale, find that rotation. Inhale yourself a little taller up to the ceiling tiles. Sits bones are glued to the mat. Exhale, turn the shoulders, look over your shoulder. Twist out your breath. One more time. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. Release that pressure from the arms. Inhale, up. And you're going to follow down that top foot and plant your palms into your wide foot stance. Walk your hands to your left foot and spiral yourself around. Have a seat. So any way you get here, now our left leg is on top, whatever leg you didn't do before. Have a seat, and again, you can have that left leg on top and your right leg extended out, or you can have that tucked under. Yep, that's right. Just making sure I got the same side or the different side. So as you're arranging those legs, be mindful of those knees, mindful of the hips, and try to get your weight even from your right hip to your left. If you're sitting way heavier on that right hip, it's okay. You're just trying to move toward a balanced weight distribution. So finding where you need to be, sitting tall, sending your breath down into the belly. Feeling that expansion of your breath all the way around the torso. So you're not just expanding forward, you're expanding into the sides, across the low back. And again, you can find that foot placement, that knee placement. Feel where you have the biggest stretch here. You could stay right here. If you'd like to add rotation, bringing those arms out. Inhale to lift up. Exhale over your left shoulder, taking the right arm to the outside of the thigh bone. Looking all the way over that shoulder. Inhale yourself tall. And exhale as you turn and rotate, looking over your shoulder. Inhale, feel the sits bones rooting to the mat. Feel your spine get taller. Inhale. Exhale, turn and rotate. Twist out that breath. Using your breath to move through this pose. Feeling that breath expand into your muscles. Feeling how everything changes when you breathe. And then releasing pressure from those arms, bring it center, big breath up. And exhale, bring it back down. Taking your hands, following that top leg down, unwinding back into your forward fold stance with your feet wide. I'm going to rejoin you in this direction. Softening the knees, bring the hands up to the hips. Big inhale up. And as you exhale, we can just step out of that. Nice job. Working through your hips if you need to. We're going to keep going. We're almost there, guys. Getting there. All right. Top of your mat. Spread out through your toes. Activate through those legs. Shoulders roll back and open. Going into some twisted thigh. Zipped up nice and tall. Inhale to lift. Exhale, diving down. Step or hop into your plank. Take a breath here. Just moving through your asana. Inhaling up. Exhale to your downward dog. Activate those arms. And then inhaling right back into your plank. And then lowering those knees and sitting it back into your child's pose just for a moment. So we're going to go into a tabletop posture, and if you would like a little extra cushioning for your knees, you can take a fold in your mat. Just doubling up your mat to give your knees a little bit of extra padding. So if that feels more comfortable, take a minute to get your mat how you'd like it. And then we're going to bring this into a tabletop spine. So finding your knees directly under your hips, finding your hands directly under your shoulders. Start off very stable. We're pulling the belly button up into the body, sinking the shoulders down the back. And from here, a little cat and cow. So inhaling as you look up and drop the hips and the belly. Exhale, push through your hands, push through your shins. Drop the chin and look toward your toes. Finding your breath, inhaling, letting the belly button drop, eyes look up. Exhale, push through those palms and shins, create space between your vertebrae. Do 2 more times through with your breath. Big inhale, cat and cow. Try to find that full range of motion in your spine. Bringing it neutral. Taking that right leg back. Push back through your foot like you're pushing against something very, very heavy. And you can keep it right here. You can always put your toe down if you need to. And from here, firming up through your supporting leg and through your right hand, you can extend that left arm, opposite arm and leg. You can keep this right here if you'd like to move. Inhaling to open, abduct. Exhale, close that back to your center line. So move with your breath. Inhale to open, exhale, reach and extend. Finding that slow, smooth, steady motion, matching your breath with your movement. Strong support. You're pushing your body away from the floor with that supporting shin and hand. One more time. Bringing that hand down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, stepping forward and through. So taking that right foot forward, and it's wide. It's kind of off to the side. You can let those toes turn out a bit. And make sure that you're not directly on your knee. You're maybe kind of resting on that thigh bone right above your knee, kind of on this portion of your leg. So this is your low lunge here. If you have blocks and you want to put your hands on blocks, that's great. You can do that. If you want to stay right here, you can. If you'd like to, take that left hand to the floor or the mat. Right hand spins open for your twisted thigh. You can always change your foot placement a little bit wider, a little bit further back or up, whatever you gotta do. Open, open, open those shoulders to the side. Shine your heart to the ceiling. If you'd like to wrap the back and bind, you can half bind right here. Breathe into that hip. And then if you have extra room, you can bend your back knee and find your foot with your hand. And this can be a very intense quad stretch. So from here, we lean the shoulders back. You're mindful of your knee and your hip, and you're sending that heart forward. You're gliding into that front leg, that front foot. And as you glide your weight forward, you lean the shoulders back. Breathe to open the front body. Breathe into that left hip. Really big stretch here. And then release that out. Bring it back. Tucking back into a child's pose. Take a moment. Crawl those hands forward. You can let those hips shift right and left. Just let the hips settle. And then just roll it up. Navel pulls in. Stack up your spine. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can keep that fold in your mat to add some extra padding for your knees. Taking it into your tabletop spine. Get some good support. Hands under the shoulders. Knees centered under the hips. Taking that left leg this time and extending back, either keeping the toe down or you can float that foot up. Push with the sole of the foot, really extending long. And you can keep this right here. You can start to feel how those core muscles activate to support and keep the hips level, keep the spine level and flat. If you want to add in that opposite arm, you can add that right arm to extend. Pushing strong through your supporting shin and hands. And you can either stay here or you can add movement. Inhaling to open and exhaling to close that back up to the midline. Still pushing that body up and away from the mat. So strong and active. Spine is extended through the top of the head, reaching through the fingers and toes. Lots of good breath here. Couple more breaths, keeping it strong, keeping that core pulled in for support. And then bringing your hand back, taking that giant step forward with the back foot. And again, you're stepping kind of wide instead of straight ahead. So we're wider than railroad tracks here. And get your back knee comfortable so you're not right on that kneecap and maybe resting just above the knee. And your hands can be here on the mat. They can be on blocks. Do what you got to do for this. Let those front toes open and turn out a little bit. Big hip stretch here. This might be good enough. This might feel like a really intense stretch, and then that's where you want to be. Just leave yourself right there. If you want to add rotation, plant the right palm and open up through that left shoulder. So again, you can change your foot placement or your hand placement to accommodate your pose. Open to the side wall, really, really big. Lean the shoulders back. We're gliding that tailbone under. We're opening through the hip. Option to do a half bind, wrapping the low back, shining that heart up to the ceiling as you glide that weight forward. And if you want to try a full bind, you can bend through that back knee and see if there's room to find your hand and your foot together. And if that works, then go for it. Opening up, and we're just sending your weight forward into the front foot, into the front hand, and as you send that forward, lean the shoulders back, open up the whole front body. Twisted thigh, lots of good breath into that pose. Let your breath expand into the tighter parts of those muscles. And then releasing that out. Bringing it back here, step into your child's pose, letting those hips settle back. Walking forward through those hands. If you'd like, you can plant your forehead, your mind's eye, and let it rest on the mat, or you can put a block right there and let that be a resting spot for your forehead. Release any tension from those arms. Let them go very loose. And as you breathe, allow that breath to travel down your spine, expanding through the shoulder blades, back of the ribs, middle back, and then expanding across the low back, across the kidneys. Take one more breath here. Let those arms get even more relaxed. And keeping the arms very loose. As you feel ready, draw the belly button in, start rolling up, letting the core muscles stack the vertebrae into place, bringing yourself up to sit nice and tall. You can undo the fold in your mat. Doing really well here, guys. I'm going to grab a quick drink, and we are going to get ready for our final Shavasana. So if you have a sweatshirt, socks, anything to help your body temperature stay in a good spot for this last little bit of class, you can take a minute to get what you need to be comfortable. So as you feel ready, come on down, back to your mat. And if you need to resolve your limbs and your muscles in a way that I'm not doing, you do what you need to do for your body. If you'd like to stick with me, we're going to roll down onto the mat. Planting through those feet, get the spine really straight underneath you. Hug those knees in, roll it out, right to left. And just let your neck and your spine stay neutral to each other. Let your elbows be natural stoppers for your momentum. Bringing that center, hands on the kneecaps, stir the thigh bones. Circle through that tailbone, that low back. Other way. Bringing it center, flexibles. And you can either hold your legs or you can release them if you want a bigger circle. Other way. Bringing that in, plant your feet. Windshield wiper those thighs if you need to. Anything else you have to do, just do what you gotta do. Get yourself comfortable on your mat. Just letting your body settle. If you have remaining tension in those muscles, just letting it go. And you've done so much breath and body control in the last hour. So now the only thing you need to be responsible for, the only thing you need to worry about is becoming an observer of that breath. Just notice the inhale, notice the exhale, and notice that little pause that happens before your body takes another breath. As your body continues to breathe, begin to relax across the scalp. Smoothing out through the forehead, softening the brow. Feel the eyes relax in their sockets, eyelids heavy over them. Feel the muscles in the face soften and relax, allowing the jaw to go slack. Feeling your tongue floating inside of your mouth. And as you continue to breathe, feel the shoulders melt into the mat with every breath. Arms grow heavy at your sides with your exhale, softening from the shoulders to the elbows, down to the wrists. Releasing tension from the palms of the hands and allowing it to exit through your fingertips. And allow the arms to remain heavy at your sides. Draw your focus back to your breath as it moves through the torso. Feel the rise and fall of each breath in the ribs and the belly. And with every exhale, feel the back melt into the mat a little bit more. Begin to soften across the hips, allowing the legs to relax in their sockets. And as those legs relax, feel the big toes as they fall away from each other. Softening the muscles in the legs, from the hips down to the knees, and from the knees down to the ankles. Any remaining tension from the arches of your feet. And become aware of the space in between each one of your toes. As your body relaxes from head to toe, begin to deepen that breath. Allow your breath to wash over you, bringing fresh air to all parts of your body, breathing in the fresh air and breathing out the old stale air. Allow that breath to rejuvenate the limbs, delivering that oxygen to the muscles, waking up your hands and your feet, your fingers and toes. And still keeping your limbs heavy and relaxed, draw the knees up, extend the right arm overhead, and gently roll yourself onto your right side. And just give yourself a moment here. Let your body regulate, let the breath acclimate. And still keeping everything heavy and loose. As you're ready, press yourself up to sit comfortably. Just finding that comfortable seated posture. Lots of space between those ears and shoulders. Feeling the spine lift and float out of the tailbone. Arms are still heavy and loose. Take a moment to acknowledge the accomplishments that you made with your practice this evening or today. Acknowledge the challenges that you rose to meet with your practice. Take a moment of gratitude for the time you took for your practice today. And take a very full breath. And just let that go. Bringing your hands together, up to your forehead for good thoughts, to your lips for good words, and to your heart for good deeds. And as we all stay at home together, I send out to you namaste. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you can make it again. Have a great day. Bye.